Clancy from On Track Off-Road. Today I'm working on my 2008 Crown Victoria Police Interceptor, doing the rear spacer lift. Showed you the front in the last video. The rear is going to be a lot quicker and easier, really. It's going to be the same pretty much for the 92 through 2011. So the rear lift consists of just a couple of simple spacers that go on the bottom of the spring, between the spring and the axle, and it's going to lift it just exactly that height. So we're going to start by measuring this thing out. It's not completely stock height right now. It's sitting a little bit low in the back because it's got a transmission and some shit in the trunk, but we're going to measure before and after. Okay, I like to use the measurement from the middle of the hub, the middle of the wheel, to the bottom of the fender lip. And that's on this car. I can do this one-handed. Oh, call it 15 and a half. So, 3-inch lift, should have 18 and a half when we're done. So we'll check back on that here in just a minute. I'm going to start jacking the car up, safely supporting it on some jack stands. Highest quality China freight jack stands. The wheel off. We can get in here and look at the suspension. So the shocks are outboard on the 03 Plus cars. Makes them a whole lot easier to get to. The 98 to 02 cars, or 92 to 02 cars, they're up in there. Without a body lift, they're really a pain to get to. But let's start with getting these shocks disconnected. I'm going to jack the jack up a little bit and support the rear end while we do that. And we're just going to ease it down. We might have to loosen up these control arms here just to get things to move around the way we want to. So the 03 Plus cars have what they call a Watts link, which is that bar right there. You can see it's got that pivot attached to the differential, and these bars here attached to that short bar that's on the pivot, and keeps the axle centered as it goes up and down. Works a lot better than a typical panhard bar for street cars like road racing and stuff. Once you start getting into longer lengths of travel, they become problematic, but we'll address that later. Okay, we got the shocks off. We're replacing them with our new longer F-150 KYBs from OnTrackOffRoad.com. OnTrack-Offroad.com. Lots more wiggle room there. Brake line looks like it's going to get a little short quick, but we got some room here on the frame to adjust the angle on that. We're going to go ahead and do that right now. Get spring compressor on the spring. Spring compressor out. There's okay. On this side, we're going to do springs. This car's getting springs at some point, or it's going to be springs rather than spacers anyhow, but I wanted to demonstrate how those go in. So here is the 2002 Ford Expedition rear spring compared to the Crown Vic spring. And you can see free weight, it's just about 2.5 inches taller. Let's actually get a tape measure on that. So it's about 2 3/4 inches, just free height. So we're gonna set this down on the ground with coil spring on one side and spacer on the other side, and we'll measure it up, see how it sits, and then we're gonna pull out spacer out and put a spring on the other side. So let's get to it. Okay, here we are at the tail of the tape, back on the ground. Looks like about a 3-inch lift, or about the same height to both sides. So let's measure it out again from about the center of the wheel to about 18 3/4. We said 18.5 would have been a 3-inch lift, so we're right there. Okay, on this side we got the Expedition spring. We're right about the middle of the wheel. We're right about about 18 3/4, right about the same. So not super accurate measuring, but I mean close enough that I'm going to say that springs versus cup is going to land you same neighborhood. And then stay tuned. Been working on the front end, had it torn apart a couple of times, did a spacer lift on the front, and demonstrate how that goes together. Next we're going to do the super common exploder struts with urethane spacer and my sweet new upper control arms. Also going to throw on a set of the flipped stock cast upper control arms. Those are available on the website. Stock cast arms with the ball joints flipped in them already.
OnTrackOffroad.com. Like, subscribe, smash all those buttons.